Going, and growing, knowing she was at a loss, there once was a girl named Lisa who wanted to find her soulmate at any cost. She heard that roses were red and violets were blue, but these things, amongst others, she never knew to be true. There were no real good men within a clear-eyed view, but Valentine's Day was around the corner, so who she saw would have to do. To wear makeup or not to wear, to style or just lay down her hair, high heels or flats, or did boots look best? Her efforts to get chose often caused her nothing but stress. Now Lisa was very gorgeous, a sight worth seeing to say the least. But attention and affirmation from a man is what truly gave her peace. Love was everywhere, except in her life, or so it seemed. While true love for her had not existed, laughs, hugs, and kisses were all she had heard and seen. Now Valentine's Day was approaching, and true love was a trending topic. So a search for Mr. Right had began, and 1,000 Mr. Wrongs could not stop it. She thought any candidate could be her blessing, and was always told she should not block it. But deep down inside, all she really wanted was some roses and a box of chocolates. Social media love, that's all it was. She just wanted to be someone's woman crush on a Wednesday. She was an amazing woman, a rare catch for sure, but would only believe it if these were words she heard a man say. Pacing through the mall with no agenda at all, other than meeting the man of her dreams, Lisa liked nice guys, but even more than that, she liked guys that owned nice things. So as Lisa shopped, and I do mean shopped, a smooth, clean-cut guy caught her eye. She knew closed mouths didn't get fed. With the 14th just days ahead, the least she could do is go say hi. He had a nice watch, nice shoes, nice smile, and his cologne smelled pretty pricey. By the way he took care of himself, the chances of him taking care of her seemed to be likely. She said she liked his suit, as he affirmed her outfit was cute. Conversation was short, so she figured I might as well shoot. She offered her number. He accepted and said he would text, but didn't tell her she'd be one of his many women, and he'd soon be on to the next. She waited a few days, but her hotline never blinked, and Mr. Smooth's name never flashed across her cell phone screen. So what? She didn't care. He was a square and a pretty boy anyways. What she wanted was a real man to keep her feisty attitude in its place. She wanted to feel protected, even at the expense of being neglected. She needed a man that she respected, even if he sold drugs and stayed armed with weapons. So one evening on her way home, as Lisa thought how long she had felt so alone, she saw a man from her neighborhood. For all kinds of crime, he was well known. But hey, we all just need to be loved, is what she told herself as she approached this thug. She was in rare form and never did this stuff, but had to learn fast if she was gonna last, as his lifestyle was rough. Lisa flirted and made remarks that were sarcastic, as she imagined he liked his women ratchet. He handed her his phone, and when she grabbed it, said, "If this is you asking for my number, I guess you can have it." Things were going just the way she imagined until the man heard sirens and saw lights flashing. As she tried to return his phone, he dropped it, along with some other things he did not want to get caught with. Yeah, definitely don't want to get caught with that. But anyways, Lisa was now losing hope and running out of options, though all she really wanted was some roses and a box of chocolates. By now, she was frustrated and stressed, and thought to do what she heard worked the best. She went to the gym to release and still get some exercise nonetheless. But on her way to the cardio machines, she saw a handsome man on the court doing his thing. She said, "You look like you know what you're doing. I always wanted to learn how to play." And he caught her drift and responded, "Well, maybe I can teach you how someday." She said, "I don't come to the gym that often. How will I be sure I'll see you again?" And he asked, "Do you have your phone with you? And if so, you should lock me in." Despite all the letdowns and disappointment, Lisa felt Cupid had an arrow with her name on it. And as she unlocked her phone, that belief was gone away in the very same moment. The handsome athlete seemingly showed interest, but he soon exposed his true intentions. Lisa noticed him noticing other women, as he had now given them all of his attention. He was definitely distracted, which was evident in how he acted. And even worse, he saw Lisa's face and had the audacity to ask her what happened. She just shook her head and walked away, as she had nothing more that she could say. But hey, what could she expect? He was just another jock, and they were known for their muscles, not their respect. So here it was, the 14th of February, and Lisa was all alone. She had been out venturing the city once again and was now on her way back home. Thinking through the last few days, she became frustrated and was almost in tears. She was now an emotional wreck, as she had never been this close to love in all of her years. Sitting at a bus stop, Lisa could feel the teardrops almost coming. She dropped her head, but immediately heard the voice of a seemingly sweet older woman. The lady said, "On this beautiful day, I decided to enjoy it by pacing the town, and had to stop to ask why a beautiful girl like yourself is sitting here looking down." Lisa wondered why this woman cared, but was truly grateful she had someone to listen. The lady took a seat as Lisa said this would be another Valentine's Day she'd basically be missing. The lady patted Lisa on her back and let her know that even she could relate. She had lost her husband in a car accident over 8 years ago to date. Times of the year like this were especially hard for this kind widow, but being able to share her story with others often eased her pain a little. The lady told Lisa that for the longest time she felt very empty inside, but over time she was able to fill that void of a lost husband with the presence of God. She told Lisa that she reminded her so much of herself, pursuing love and affirmation from everything and everyone else. That years ago, she too got caught up in frustration over this holiday. She told her some guys may come and go, but there was one that would for sure come and stay. Lisa asked how could she meet this guy, and the lady replied, "Just believe and pray." She told her, "I promised myself I would encourage someone that was in desperate need today, as I have felt some similar pain and frustration since my loved one passed away." Lisa needed to know she too was loved, even if she found out through something that seemed cliche. Favor wasn't fair, and her fate made her feel cheated, mistreated, and defeated. The lady knew this feeling all too well, so she gave her exactly what she needed: someone to vent to and talk with, and roses in a box of chocolates. This is a story of a woman, just like you and I, deep down inside, naturally desiring to simply be loved and cared for. And not just on the 14th of February, but since the day she was born. Consider this. Newborns, right out of the womb, typically cry until they get some kind of special attention. Well, even as fully grown adults, we are wired to long for attention and recognition from others. If we didn't, a large majority of us probably wouldn't spend the money or the time we do to dress nicely in designer clothes, or be so consumed with social media in the manner most of us are, only to never truly be satisfied. So, hypothetically speaking, what if that was because we were created to desire more? Created to desire our Creator, and nothing could or will ever fill that void other than receiving and accepting the love, attention, and care that comes from the Creator of this universe. What if the Creator was a supernatural being and is capable of doing anything, and this being came down on earth in the form of a man and literally lived a perfect life, as in never doing anything wrong? Then, because of the imperfect life that we as human beings all would and do live, and the severe consequences we deserve for our faults, this supernatural being decided to spare us from our own punishment, which I forgot to mention is death, and would take the punishment for us simply out of love. And this man/supernatural being, confusing, I know, but just hear me out. What if he died for us and all our faults, and 3 days later rose from the dead, proving he was God? Because that's just what supernatural beings do. And then he said, if we believe and accept in our hearts and express with our mouths that he was God and he died on behalf of us, then we will be able to take advantage of this selfless act of love in a few ways. By being saved from an eternity of unimaginable punishment and torture. By being granted eternity in the unimaginable kingdom of God himself. And by always having access to this supernatural love that we naturally long for. Now, if this were true, wouldn't that actually be good news? And wouldn't you want to experience that love? Hypothetically speaking, that is. This video is not to make you a believer of these claims, but to simply let you know that when the world stops loving you, there's a supernatural God-man out there waiting to give you attention and care, waiting for you to simply accept his unconditional love that is available for you, waiting to fill every void and fulfill every need and desire in your life. He does exist, and his name is Jesus Christ. Happy Valentine's Day.